why don't you ever give me a heads up when we go live?
What we do here is go back.
You should be on your toes. You should be on your toes.
I'm always on my toes.
Obviously you're not. Or else you wouldn't be getting mad at me for starting the live without you.
We got a really good episode today. I am super excited. We finally have some really important things you need to get started with. I hope all of you guys had a wonderful 4th of July. See that burst of energy I got going now? I couldn't be more excited about everything. So, if you guys got questions, go ahead and start rolling those things in. I know if any of you guys saw my last post, it was Casey that was holding up the filming. We were ready to film, and she just took her sweet time getting here. So,
hey, you don't get to blame things on me just because I'm behind the camera.
And now you guys hear Casey's attitude and what she's like in real life, and not her always so happy-go-lucky.
It's time you start taking responsibility for some of your actions, and your actions in making all of the films late is on you, not me.
But not this time. This time it wasn't me. I think this might be the first episode I did without a hat on. So this could be big time.
Actually, I think you're right.
It might be. I think one other episode I might have had a man bun in. Again, Casey's doing.
Well, it's just time that you start to actually, take care of yourself, do your hair, get a haircut, stop wearing hats just to cover up your greasy hair,
All right, I know y'all see Shabuti in this thing already hollering out. Shabuti, send us a question, buddy. We're, again, super excited.
Are you allowed to say Shabuti?
It's his name.
It just sounds inappropriate. We're live. You know that, right?
Yeah, but that's his actual name.
Okay, hey, Shabuti.
That's not his name. Stop calling him that. So, look.
I'm going to call him Shabuti now.
Okay, you go for it. So, look, guys. One of the big things that we are going to talk to is sitting right here on our desk. And it's might be something like that, but it's this right here. It's our Xbox. It's our PlayStations, guys. We are going into July. It means the season is right around the corner. This is the most important time of your season. In early July, it means
How is July part of important part?
If you sit there, I will tell you right now. First off, this is when recruiting is most vital for you juniors, for you sophomores, especially for you seniors. This is the time where you have got to start sending your film out now. You need to be accumulating your stuff from last season. If you have a where you are at now film of you either kicking off the ground or kicking on a marked field, go ahead and start shooting that over to college coaches. Grab their attention so that when the season does arrive, you're already on their board, you're already on their small list, and they're going to start following your stats as the season goes. Most coaches are not going to sit there and watch your games. They're not going to go to your high school to watch you kick. They're not going to spend that money to fly over to you, watch a whole football game just to watch you kick maybe twice, maybe 4 times, 5 times on a big time game. So what they're going to look at is they're going to follow your stats probably on max preps, and then they're going to look at your game film about halfway in the season and then at the end of your season. So grabbing their attention now is vital for recruiting. This is the perfect time. Give it another week, so get your film together this week. Next week, about midway in July, go ahead, shoot that on over to those coaches. They'll just be starting to get ready for fall camp, doing all their last minute boards. This is the perfect time to stomp. So if you haven't filmed yourself recently, go out, get some film, some quality film. Don't go on an unmarked field. Don't lie about your stats as far as saying, I kicked a 60-yarder today on an unmarked grass field. or say I got 5.5 seconds of hang time when it's really closer to a 4-1. A lot of those guys out there are doing that on social media. And then the other important thing, it's time to unplug this thing. Spend time with your girlfriend, spend time with your family, because once the season gets here, there's not going to be a whole lot of rest and relaxation time. But this right here, your Xbox, your PlayStation, has got to be unplugged. You need to no longer waste your time on Fortnite, no longer waste your time on Xbox Live. You've got to get out and work every single day. Now, I know you can't work 18 straight hours, but go spend those quality time with your family. Those are the people who have supported you all this offseason. I know a lot of you guys are traveling all over to go to these kicking camps. Now is the time to start taking it extremely serious. Get in the season mindset. So with that being said, I know you guys have a ton of questions on how to start getting ready for the season. Do we have anything for us yet, Casey?
No questions as of right now.
Today.
Let's see. We've got a What's Up Coach from quiz3._.
That's Keys, man.
Looks like quiz to me. Without a Z. And then Dup's back in it. Colin14 Dups is saying that he's hoping to find out over the weekend what we can work out with the camp there in Columbus.
Dups, we want to get over to Ohio, buddy. Whether it be Columbus or what else is over there? Dayton?
I'm pretty sure there's nothing else in Ohio.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, now that LeBron's out of Ohio, and that matters over there, huh?
It didn't matter when he was there either.
Lakers. I'm jumping on that bandwagon. No, I can't do it. I hate the Lakers.
You jump on every bandwagon. Anyone didn't know that about Coach Connor? Biggest bandwagoner ever. Like, ever. Of any sport.
How? I've always been a Warriors fan. I've always been a Patriots fan. I've always been... Who won the last World... hockey?
Exactly. You don't even know. No, you don't even know.
Whoever won the Stanley Cup, I've been a fan of them.
No, go ahead and tell everybody about how you were a Saints fan when you lived in Louisiana, and then you moved to Dallas, and then you're all of a sudden a Cowboys fan, and then you really moved to Dallas, and you're like a Cowboy. Well, I'm sorry. What did you say like last week? You said you're a Cowboys fan, a Mavs fan, an FC Dallas fan, a Stars fan, anything Dallas, like biggest bandwagoner of all times.
Name one of those teams that's good right now. Yeah, I'll wait.
If I had a cricket sound, I really wish I could have played it just then. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm not jumping on the good bandwagon. I'm waiting. But when they are good, I'm going to be...
But you said the same thing about the Saints in Louisiana.
Right. Whatever. All
anyways.
Right, I know somebody feeling for me for that Cowboys Nation.
Yeah, there is a Cowboy Nation. Cliff_us with 2 S's. USS.
From the East Coast pulling for them Cowboys.
Ain't no way. Probably.
Prescott's the man, bro.
He probably lived in Dallas for like 0.2 months or something. Like 0.2 days and Cowboys.
Wow. So look, let's get back on track now that we've gone a whole nother direction. Let's get back on to kicking and punting. We've gotten a lot of the same questions over and over and over again. We have a ton of videos up on YouTube, by the way. If you go to our YouTube page, Trinity Kicking, there's a lot of shorter videos, minute-long videos explaining how to punt against the wind, how to get that perfect drop. Recently, I've been asked a lot about y'all's plant spot when we're field goal kicking. And you'll hear me say this a lot, is you need to focus on attacking that plant rather than attacking that ball. And a lot of guys are getting a little confused. They've always thought, or they come to me and say, hey, coach, I've always looked at my ball when I'm going to kick. You know, now you're telling me to look at my plant. There's kind of a happy medium there, all right? In a game situation, your ball's not going to be there anyways. But when you're first getting used to attacking that plant, stop worrying about what the ball does, right? We're in the middle of July. It doesn't matter if you shank a kick, you know, that goes the opposite direction. It doesn't matter. No stats or film are on you. So now is the time you need to work on things. So for the next week, for you guys first trying to learn how to take that wide plant, teaching yourselves not to jump at the ball and step and pull with that plant spot, let's get our eye on that plant spot. Let's attack that plant. Again, if you miss the ball, you miss the ball. Who cares? But if you land in the perfect plant spot, it won't matter if you're looking at the ball or not, because if your knee is locked out, your ankle is locked out, your toes are pointed, the length of your leg is not going to change. So eventually you would potentially be able to kick by looking at your plant and hitting that spot 100% of the time. But in the beginning, you're going to have to focus on that. You're going to have a couple bad balls. Lean left, strike through that ball, follow through nice and easy. It's all about attacking that plant spot. Why am I crossing over so bad? So we help the kickers, now we're going to the punters. Most of the time, the reason you are crossing over on your punt is because you are dropping the ball inside. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying, well, I practice my drops all the time. I never drop the ball inside. But when you take your steps, all right, and let's just talk about a right-footed punter, all right? When you take your steps, your ball is kind of outside of your hips. That's good. That's solid. That's where we want it. But what we tend to do is we focus so much on that football that we forget that we're trying to go upfield. And what's happening is that we are taking our first step at our ball, then trying to cut upfield and go after that ball. Well, the ball didn't move, but as we take that step to our right, now that ball is at the center of our body. And then when we go to cut upfield, we never quite get it back on the outside of our foot. Our foot goes straight through that ball. Our follow-through follows across our body. So with that being the issue, most of the time we're crossing over because we are stepping at our ball rather than stepping straight. Leave that ball outside. I promise your leg will go there. All right? The other thing is if we drop it a little bit too close to ourselves, a lot of times we end up bending our knees, snapping that leg, but a lot of times that little knee bend will cause us to kind of strike through that ball at an angle as well. So make sure we're walking straight, taking 2 small compact steps, and striking up through it. So if you guys have any questions of issues that you're having or any questions on kind of that kicking thing I was talking about, going to our plant, or our punters, we're stepping our first step towards our ball rather than straight up field or at our target if we're doing directional punting, ask now. Now is the time to ask. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the season. And if you don't address the issues now, we're going to have major problems once the season gets here. This is when we get our confidence. Not once the fall camp gets here. By then it's too late. We're going to be too tired to actually work on things. We have to get our technique sound so when fall camp gets here in August, we're just rolling in our technique. It's too late at that point to start trying to address technical issues. We're kind of just rolling with the form that we have. All right, you got something for me, Casey?
Yeah, we actually did have a question come in from probably_Braden. But before I get to it, I just want to know when you're going to buy me tacos. Because Matt Rogers 10 just came in and said PS4 for sure.
He's talking about a PS4. I said I'd get you tacos if somebody commented on the Xbox.
But that means he saw the Xbox and said PS4.
I think you're reaching.
I think you owe me tacos.
I might owe you tacos.
Thank you, Matt Rogers 10, for helping me win that bet.
Matt Rogers 10, it's all about Xbox, fam. Nobody's on the PlayStation.
But anyways, back to probably_Braden's question. He says, how do I work on being a better combo kicker/punter?
Man, this is a great question. And if you looked at our Tuesday tip of the week, for this week actually, we talked about the mindset difference between being a kicker and being a punter. And when you're a combo, it's really difficult to change that mindset, right? For us kickers, we have to be wound up tight. We're taking small, compact steps and exploding, and we are very, very wound up when we go to attack that ball. All of our muscles are flexed, our chest, our arms, our back. We're ready to explode through this ball, all right? For punters, we are much more relaxed. We're fluid. Still taking small, compact steps, but there's a rhythm to it. There's a kind of almost a cadence with a song. Rather than step, step, kick like a field goal, it's step, step, kick. And you almost have to be light on your feet as a punter. So I strongly urge you to try and separate the two in your brain. And the best way to do that is practice it, right? Don't go and kick 50 balls and then punt 50 balls. Kick 20 balls, punt them back, do another set of punts, maybe do some pooch punts, then do a kickoff, then do some field goals. Really try and mix it up, because our combos, it's all about trying to change that mindset in the middle of a game. That's real difficult. And a lot of it, and you'll see that we talked about it again in that tip of the week on Tuesday, we talked about the music difference, right? So if you're a punter or a combo, go ahead and listen to some more, more upbeat music. Don't listen to that rah-rah about to get you ready, either, hard gangster rap or heavy metal. do something a lot more lighter, all right? Maybe some Justin Bieber. I promise you, if you are a punter,
Here we go with the Justin
this
Bieber.
works every single time. If you're a punter and you're out struggling, at practice or in pregame or whatever, play Justin Bieber's Baby.
Baby does not fix
it works
everything.
100% of the time, and any punter who would comment that's worked with us before will testify to it. So the big thing, going back to it, is the mindset difference. Get tight and ready to explode in a fighter's mindset when you're kicking, and be relaxed and almost a ballet type feeling when you're punting, and you have to learn to separate those two. Mindset. Other than that, same thing as always. Practice that technique. You got anything else for me, Casey?
Yeah, well, on that, Braden, probably _ Braden says noted with the laughing, crying emoji. So I feel you.
Look, when this gets posted on YouTube, I want you to comment under it and say, Justin Bieber's Baby worked. I promise you.
Well, how about he tests it before he comments that, but still go on there afterwards. Maybe. I'm telling.
He already has it on his phone, probably.
At Cliff _USS says laughing crying face. Okay, coach, laughing crying face.
So far,
I'm telling
I
you.
haven't lied to anyone on here ever. I've never lied to you guys yet. Justin Bieber's Baby. Don't knock until you try it.
Yeah. Again, okay. Randall Miller _1 says Xbox trash. So I just want to throw that in there before we go back to Colin 14. That was Randall Miller _1.
Okay. Just for all of you people who do not know Randall, extremely high quality kicker, and yet he's in Texas, South Texas, and what does he do? He plays hockey. Makes no sense. That's who y'all PlayStation people are taking advice from.
Ooh.
A hockey player from Texas. It's 100 degrees outside.
Well, Alex Macaluso, I think that's right, 1 says he's going to try it, and I believe he's referring to your baby.
Not my baby.
Yeah, it's your baby. Nope, that's your baby. Anyways, getting back to Colin 14 Dups. Says, D1 high school kickers, what are they kicking average field goals along with D2?
Yeah, so what he's referring to is he's trying to figure out what guys at the high school level are kicking at what type of quality to be Division I guys. And the truth is, it's all about the stats. So, the easiest way is look on Max Preps, all right? Most of those field goal guys are in the top, making about 90% accuracy, 85% accuracy rate. It doesn't matter if somebody has a 70-yard kick on their record, which will never happen. It's all about putting up the consistency stats. Don't worry about your long, don't worry about your hang time, don't worry about any of the stuff except for consistency. So for us kickers, that's a percentage. We are shooting for above 85. For those guys who are really trying to get to that next level and want to make a strong push, we're at that 88, 92 kind of percentile. Anything above that is a serious D1 guy, as long as you have enough kicks on your record. Extra point misses, unacceptable. For us punters, right, it's all about that net. So for that net, what we're looking at shooting is somewhere around 40 yards a punt. That doesn't really seem like a lot, and if you're out on a field, 40 yards is really not that far. But it's about hitting that 40-yarder every single time, right? It's all about that fair catch or an unreturnable ball. All right, so get a nice ball, 40 yards, fair caught. The problem that punters at the high school level run into is they say, man, that guy over there kicked a 55-yarder. That means I have to kick a 55-yarder in order for me to go D1. That's not the case. Again, just like I said at the beginning of this film, these college coaches are not going to go to your games to recruit you. They're not going to watch every kick on your game film. What they're going to do is they're going to look at your stats first. And if they say, man, this guy's around 39, he's around 41 yards per punt, man, that guy's really good at the high school level. Now let me look at his highlights. Let me look at some of his punch just to make sure that he has clean technique and that he's hitting the same ball over and over and over and over again. The biggest thing that coaches want to do, whether you're a kicker, kickoff specialist, punter, holder, snapper, they want consistency. They want to be able to game plan around you. The biggest thing that coaches want to do, whether you're a kicker, kickoff specialist, punter, holder, snapper, they want consistency. They want to be able to game plan around you. Not say, well, so he might give us a 60-yard punt or he might hit us a 30-yarder. It's all about saying, if this guy gets us a 40-yarder every single time, we know where to cover, we know what direction he's punting, and we know that at this scenario, we're going to punt, or this scenario, we're going to go for it. But if they can game plan, it makes their life easier, makes your stock skyrocket as a kicker or punter. So don't worry too much about this, about what this guy's doing or what that guy's doing. Those guys don't matter at all. It's about you being the most consistent guy you can be.
All right, Randall Miller _1
Let's hear it, Randall.
and the kid from his school watching it. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back to your question. Let's go up to, well, that's what he said, a kid from his school watching too. So both of you, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to your question. Darren.Alcantara. Don't want to say that wrong. I think that's right.
You've just been butchering names. That might be right. I don't know.
I think it's Alcantara. That sounds right. Darren.Alcantara11 says, any tips for kickoffs?
Kickoffs, yes. Do not take a long approach. Back in the day, guys used to run 10, 12, 15 yards at the ball. The longer you're running at the ball, the more time there's for something to mess up. All right? So the shorter and more compact you can be, the more power you're going to have. You're going to prevent yourself from overstriding. You're going to be able to explode up through that ball a lot easier. What I usually tell my guys is to start off taking your field goal steps twice. If you still feel a little too close or a little bit jammed, go ahead and take your field goal steps 3 times. So if you're a 3-2 guy, take 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. All right, you're going to feel real wide. That's good. You're going to strike up through that ball. If you're going to cross over with your with that leg over your body, that's fine on kickoff, not on field goal. But on kickoff, you can cross over. All right. The big thing is to make sure they are consistent, and so that when you do start getting a big heartbeat, like it's the opening kickoff, you're not overstriding. When you're dead dog tired, you're not taking too small of steps lazily. That's why the smaller approach is what we really try and train our guys on. Eventually, you look at these guys in the NFL, they're taking 3-step approaches. They're taking their field goal steps and blasting it out the back of the end zone. Momentum isn't really your friend like you think it is on kickoffs. So, compact technique, that's how you get that ball to fly. What you got for me, Casey?
All right, now we're going to go to Randall Miller _1, even though I'm pretty sure it's not Randall typing because of the comment he puts later. He says, one of the kids from my school is watching this. What would you recommend for a soccer player transferring from those soccer-style stutter steps to small, consistent steps?
Man, so the big thing is you cannot eyeball your ball anymore. You have relied so much on athleticism as a soccer player. Everything is kind of in a flowing motion. The game never stops. It is completely different when you are kicking a football. Everything has got to be technique, robotic in the beginning when you're first making that change, but more importantly, it's got to be precise. It has to be the same every single time. Again, you're talking about consistency. You're going from a sweet spot that's about this big to a sweet spot that's about that big. The ball is not really shaped friendly for kickers like it is on soccer. So the biggest thing is find out what your steps are, all right? What we teach is 4 steps back, 2 big steps left. Those 4 steps back are real small. They're comfortable walking steps. Again, when we talk about comfortable walking steps, is have a conversation with your friend or with someone and just start walking backwards. Whatever those comfortable steps are that you take without thinking about it, that needs to be your field goal steps. Because when we take 3 steps and we have to reach back slightly, it goes back to what we were talking about with our kickoffs. When we're excited, when we're amped up, if we're hitting a game-winning 50-yarder, guess what? Those steps are really big back, right? Or dead dog tired, it's just another kick in fall camp. They're really small, lazy steps. So in order for them to be consistent, we have to be able to take them without having to think about it. So just walk back comfortably 4 steps, and then 2 big steps to your left, and then same thing on your field goal or on your kickoffs, right? You just do that twice, and then that should help you a whole lot. The big difference is learning how to not snap your knee, right? In soccer, everything is real quick and snapping your knee, trying to adjust to the ball at all times. With kicking, the ball is stationary. You don't need to snap your knee. Use your whole body to kick. Lock out that leg from your knee to your ankle to your toes to your hips is one stiff straight line, and that's where your power comes from. Not so much the quick twitching motion that we have in soccer. All right? So slow things down in your brain and use the power of technique rather than just pure athleticism and reaction twitch speed. All right? Best of luck, buddy.
All right. I hope that answers your question.
A lot of information for just one.
Guy using Randall Miller's _1's Instagram.
He's a hockey goalie. A hockey goalie in Texas.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Really good.
probably _Braden says, that's a good idea. Actually never thought of taking field goal steps twice, going back to your kickoff comments.
Now remember, guys, anytime you're making an adjustment like that, it's going to be very difficult in the beginning. So don't just knock it if you kick it once and say, oh, that was a bad ball. Give it a couple tries. If after 5, 6 kicks it doesn't feel good, then start backing up to 3.
All right. Well, Randall Miller just wants to clear up. He says, nah, I'm his coach. I'm trying to help.
Randall's
big
a
timing.
solid kicker. If you look on our Instagram, he's featured on there multiple times. Great follow through, a technician. Any other questions?
No, Coach, that looks like that's it, unless we've got some last-minute joiners wanting to throw in a question in there. If not, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, unless you've got some final comments, Coach.
Just one, thank you guys again for joining. The more you guys join, the more we can do this. Our goal is to hit this every Thursday. Again, if you guys have any questions, comment on our last post. Send us direct messages. We want to help you guys. I know you guys have a ton of different questions about your kicking style or your punting style, and we want to get to them. But before you ask, go check out our YouTube. We have a ton of helpful videos on there that we've cut down that are kind of pointing out specific types of kicks, like punting against the wind, or starting your kickoff and stuff like that. Go ahead, look at those. If you still have questions or you need clarification on us, we are always available. All right. I hope everyone had a fantastic 4th of July. Again, it's time to unplug from your kind of Xbox and PlayStation and your vacation, and it's time to lock into the business mindset that your season is right around the corner, and your scholarship could be waiting in this season. Whether you're a sophomore, junior, or senior, you need to get your film together and start sending it out to coaches. 125 D1 FBS schools, about another 60 or 65 Division I FCS schools. You know, once you start getting D2, D3, you're talking about somewhere around 300 colleges that you need to be sending your film to. All right? Don't knock them just because they're D3 schools or D2 schools. Send your film to every single school that you've ever heard of or not heard of, and let's get you signed somewhere. Again, Trinity Kicking, what you got, Casey? You seem like you got something on your...
Oh, no, nothing. I'm just laughing in my head because Randall Miller _1 says you're making me want to kick again. And that's, I feel like, you're like best, like, I don't know, you're one of your best assets. It's just like getting people out there. And I don't know what it is. It's like contagious about you, Coach. Like anytime like you're out there kicking, you make, like, I've seen Coach out there kicking, and he'll make a random little kid that's never kicked a football before ever want to pick up a ball and kick it. That's just what you do. So I was just laughing about it. But I was also laughing because I definitely win tacos out of this video, because probably _Braden said I'm an Xbox guy, by the way. So
Nobody says anything about the Cholula?
I get tacos out of this
deal. There's a Cholula bottle sitting on my desk. Nobody's going to point that out.
There was a bet going on, guys.
Oh, man.
If anyone mentioned the Cholula bottle, I had to buy Coach Connor tacos. And if anyone mentioned the Xbox, he has to buy me tacos.
Thanks,
so
boys.
looks like I get a free meal out of it. So there's no other questions or comments out there.
Let me say one more thing. And I know that we have to go. But somebody else is out there kicking. They're going out there to kick tomorrow. They're going to go out there and kick the next day. If you are not working on your craft, somebody else is getting better than you. And you really need to let that sink in. The moment you can accept that, and the moment you can accept that there's other people who are naturally God-given better kickers or punters out there, and that you are already behind, and that somebody else has perfect weather, or somebody else has an indoor facility, and there's all these different excuses that you can come up with why you shouldn't kick, remember, there is someone else out there working to get a scholarship, and there's only a handful of scholarships available each year. Now is the time when you can get better than them. So when it does rain on their day, you're out kicking, and that's a day you get better. Never, ever, ever let anyone outwork you. If at the end of everything they're a better kicker, well then they just deserved it over you. But don't let it be because they outworked you. That's all I got, Casey.
All right, then, Coach. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Between the Uprights.
Later, guys.